Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back. Today I just wanted to sit down and show you guys some things that I have been loving recently, some makeup products that I have been using very often because I've been loving the way that they look and the way that they perform. So we're just gonna do a nice chit chatty show and tell because that's what I'm feeling like today. So if that is something that you guys are interested in seeing, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I'm gonna try and go in a little bit of an order. I don't want to do this that randomly. I kind of want to go in just the way that I apply my products, so that's what I'm going to do I think today. This product you probably are very familiar with. I just did a video on it very recently, I want to say. It is the Essence Bronzed This Way eyeshadow palette. I have been loving this. This is like the cutest little 6 shadow palette, but it's absolutely perfect to throw in your purse. It is the perfect size. It has a nice little mirror that looks disgusting because it has my fingerprints all over it, but it is like the perfect amount of shades. It has everything that you could ever need to do like a nice simple eye look, to do a nice smoky eye, to do truly whatever you need. The pigment is so good. The shadows blend so well together. Everything is just so good and not what I was expecting for this little teeny tiny palette, but I have been loving it. I know that Essence has this palette in a bunch of different other colors too, so I definitely want to pick some of those up and see if they all kind of perform the same or if it's just some that are really good and some that are kind of duds. So definitely want to check the other ones out. The next two things are a primer and a foundation. Well, I don't even know if it's a foundation, but the primer that you guys can probably guess that I have been loving is this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This primer is so good, and I have very oily skin and I have very sensitive skin, but this doesn't break me out, doesn't make me shiny, it doesn't give me redness, it doesn't really do anything except what it's supposed to do, which is just keep your makeup in place for hours on end. This is like, it honestly reminds me of a paint primer because it's so sticky and tacky that your foundation literally adheres to it and doesn't go anywhere. So I've been loving this. Super inexpensive and it does exactly what I need it to do, especially in the summertime when it's so hot and like sticky and gross and humid and your makeup always just slides off. That has been really doing me a lot of good. The next product that I have is one that I wasn't so sure if I wasn't gonna like, but since I've been playing with it a lot, I've found that I love it for this time of year. I love it for the summer. It's a great everyday foundation kind of skin tint slash balm, I think is what it's called. It is the One Size Turn Up the Base Beauty Blur Balm Cream. I have mine in the shade Medium 1N. This stuff is so good. I have never had a skin product, because I don't even want to call it a foundation. I've never had a skin product do what this product does. I have it on today. I'm like looking at myself in the mirror because I have it on today and my skin just looks so smooth and blurred. Exactly what this says that it does. My skin has no real texture. It doesn't look oily. It doesn't look like I have pores. Like my skin just looks really freaking good. And it doesn't break me out, which is another big thing that sometimes skin tints will do for me, is break me out. But it doesn't clog your pores. Like, it's just a really great summer skin tint if you have oily skin, and I guess even if you have, you know, combo or dry skin. I think this is more targeted toward people with oily skin, so I would check out the description and the information if you have dry skin before you pick it up. But this I've been loving. I didn't know if I was gonna like it. The packaging kind of sucks, and I wish there was a little bit more product in the package, but what are you gonna do? You know, I don't even have a primer on today, and this is how it looks. Like, no oils, no shine, no texture. It just makes me feel really good. Okay, the next few things that I have are all cream products, and I think I'm gonna start with concealer first. Again, this is not something new. If you have seen my other videos, you know that I have been loving this. This is the NYX Bear With Me concealer. This has been all over the freaking internet, and I finally picked it up and tried it, and it is so good. I actually have been using this one over my Lancome Teint Idole, which you guys know I use literally all the time, but this is just, I don't know, it feels really good on my eyes. On top of the coverage and all the other stuff that it does, it just feels good on my eyes, and my eyes don't feel dry and like rough. Like, the skin doesn't feel roughed up after I take this stuff off. So I've been loving this. If you have not tried this, go pick it up. It's a nice drugstore concealer that, in my opinion, beats all the other high-end concealers that I have tried out. It's a very thin consistency, but it's super full coverage, but not full coverage to the point where your bags are more prominent. It's just a really good concealer, especially for the drugstore. I see why the internet has been going crazy over this. And it's definitely gonna last me a long time too, because I only use the smallest amount when I apply it. Like, you don't need a lot to cover the bags under your eyes and the discoloration and the dark circles under your eyes. It's a crazy product, crazy good. I have it on right now with that One Size BBB cream, and that's the other thing, is that no matter what foundation I use that concealer with, it melts in perfectly to the foundation. I don't know how or why, but it just melts right into the foundation all the time. You know how sometimes there's concealers that you can see where the concealer ends and the foundation begins? I never have that with that NYX concealer. The next two are some cream contours slash bronzers. The first one is this Say Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Light Bronze, and this is just a really effortless, like when I tell you effortless, this is another thing that I have on today. This is truly a sun melt. Like, they totally got the name right with this. This melts so beautifully into the skin. It looks like a tan. Like, I know with a lot of other cream contour bronzer products, you can again see where the bronzer ends and where the foundation begins, but with this one, it's so undetectable and it's so effortless that anyone at any stage of their makeup journey can use this product and it'll look good. Like, you don't need any type of skill to use this. It is so beginner friendly, it is buildable, it is not too pigmented, if that makes any sense. It's just a really amazing product, especially for the summer. If you want to go foundationless, it melts right into the skin. I've had this for a while too, and I kept it in the back of my drawer and I didn't use it because I loved my Huda Beauty Tantour. So this one, it was one that I never reached for. But now that I've tried it out, I can't stop reaching for it and I can't stop using it. It's definitely more of a cream bronzer and not a cream contour because it's a little bit more warm rather than cool on my skin, which to me gives more of a bronze look rather than like a shadow, which would be more of a contour. So definitely keep that in mind if you're going to pick it up. The next cream contour that I have is my Fenty Matchsticks in the shade Amber. I don't have any words. I bought this and then never used it because I hated the way that it looked when I applied it out of the bullet. And then I saw someone take a brush, put the product all over the brush, and then apply it to their skin, and saw that it looked so much better. Now that I know how to apply this, I have been loving the way that this looks on my skin. It is the perfect contour shade for me. It's so cool toned and it's so, again, effortless that it really makes my cheekbones pop instead of just giving me like a stripe along my face. Do you know what I mean? I feel like with a lot of cream contours, it's easy to just look like you have a brown stripe. This is not gonna give you that. This is the perfect cool toned contour shade. You don't need a lot. Just know that if you do pick this up, you're probably gonna want to use a brush to get the product off and then use that on your face rather than putting it right on your face out of the bullet, because there's something about this packaging that just does not do the product that's in it justice. I have never met a Fenty product that I didn't like, and this is no outlier to that rule. And now the final cream product that I have is this new cream blush that I have been loving that I didn't think I was gonna love, but I do. This is the LA Girl Soft Matte Cream Blush, and I know what you're thinking. This package is really small, so why would I pick this up? And hear me out. Hear me out. You need the smallest amount, honestly, the smallest, like a dot. This cream blush is so pigmented. You're gonna get so much out of so little product on your face. Whenever I use this, I have it on today, but I don't know if you can tell because I only used a little bit. Whenever I use this, I find that I don't have to go in with a powder blush on top because this does enough and it lasts the entire day. This is by LA Girl, so you know it's gonna be inexpensive. It's very affordable for the product that you get. This is in the shade Rosebud, and it does have a weird scent to it, which totally was off-putting to me the first time that I picked it up and tried it out, but it doesn't break me out. It doesn't bother my eyes. It doesn't bother my skin, and it's definitely something I recommend if you want to get into like cream blushes and all that. This is definitely a great starter cream blush because it's so inexpensive and you only need a little bit. The one thing that I will say is that it's very easy to go overboard with, so just be wary. Definitely like apply it to the back of your hand and then the back of your, cheekbones to get the perfect amount of product. My next set of products are just powders, and I only have two because is I've been really into creams recently. I know that it's summer, so that does make a little bit of sense because I feel like that's when you go for a more natural base, but I only have two powders that I've been loving. The first powder is one that I have been pushing on you guys for the past few months, I want to say. This is the One Size Translucent Setting Powder. This powder is so good. I don't know what Patrick Star did to get a powder this good, and I don't want to know what's in it to make it this good, but it's so freaking good. If you are oily and you struggle with your oils coming out after, 15 minutes of applying your makeup, you need this. You need to try this out. There's this size, which is the smaller one, and then the bigger size, and I got the smaller one just because I was like, let me try this out. And now I think I have to go buy 3 of like the big ones. It makes me look so airbrushed. I have it on right now, right here, and where are my pores? I don't know. I'd love to know. I'd love to know where my pores are because this powder just completely took them away. Every time I apply this powder, I look so airbrushed, and I get so many compliments on my skin, which never happens, but this powder just does something. And the tool that I love to use with it that really helps to give me that airbrush look is this powder puff, which I also have been loving from Amazon. These two together, match made in heaven. They do have another shade of this setting powder in a darker shade. I think it is a little bit more on the pricier side, but I would pay an endless amount of money for this powder because it's that good. I have other powders that I used to use that I have since let expire and throw away since getting this one, and I found that I haven't been trying any other ones because why would I have anything else when I have the best? So I've been loving this. If you're looking for a new setting powder, definitely try this one out. I love it. It's so freaking good. I can't say enough good things about it. And then the last powder that I have is this NYX matte bronzer in the shade Deep Tan. This is just a really nice red bronzer, which I don't normally use, but because my tan is so like red heavy, I find that in the summer this is the best bronzer for me to use because it matches the undertones of my tan perfectly. It's super inexpensive. It's definitely a nice dupe for the NARS Laguna bronzer. It has the same kind of undertones, same kind of feel. This is highly pigmented, but it does blend really well so that you don't get just like a stripe across your face. It's a nice drugstore bronzer. I have other ones, but recently this is the one that I've been reaching for the most because it complements the rest of what I have going on the best. But not much else to say. It's just a bronzer that I've been loving, and I think that you'll love too. Before I move on to the last few things, I have one other skin product that I want to talk about, which is just a setting spray. I don't normally use setting sprays because I don't like the feeling of them. You guys know I have like a lot of sensory issues and I don't like the way that things feel on my skin, but this is one that makes the cut. This is the Milani Make It Last Matte Setting Spray. If you have dry skin, don't get this. Not that you ever would, but even if you're like combo and more on the dry side, don't get this. This makes you so matte the entire night, and it's the perfect size to throw in your bag. If you have oily skin and you struggle in the summer, definitely pick this up. You wouldn't think that a setting spray is gonna make you matte. I know for me at least, that's not what I would think. I would think that a setting spray would kind of make me more luminous and dewy, but this is super inexpensive and definitely makes you super matte. Like you will not have any oils coming through, so tread lightly with this one. And it's inexpensive. It's Milani. It's a nice drugstore brand. It says that it has charcoal in it and that it's oil control and mattifying, which definitely is oil controlling. I feel like I'm a lot less oily when I put this on, so definitely check it out if you're oily. Could be a lifesaver for you, just like it was for me. Okay, the last few things are just eyelash related. I have 2 false lashes that I've been loving and then just a mascara that I've also been loving. I am late in the game when it comes to this mascara. People have been talking about this for years and I finally went and picked it up. I've tried other Essence mascaras, but never this one, which I know this is like the most popular one that everyone talks about. This is the one that I have on my lashes today, and I find that this is a great mascara to build. And what I mean by that is if you're someone like me who has very straight lashes, you'll find that you have to like curl your lashes, apply mascara, curl your lashes, apply mascara. Like you have to do it over and over again in order to get your lashes to look the way that you want them to look. This is a perfect mascara for that. You can put on a lot of layers of this mascara and it's not going to look like spider legs like it sometimes can. It's a very like thin consistency. It's not a super thick mascara, and the wand is just your average cone type wand. There's really nothing special about this. It's just a really good formula and a really good basic mascara. For me, mascaras aren't that important because I'm going to be putting false lashes on, but for days like today when I don't want to do false lashes, it's definitely the mascara that I'm going to reach for because it holds a curl really well and it stacks really well. Like, you can layer a lot on. So if that's something that you're into, definitely check this mascara out. Okay, my last two products are just some lashes that I've been loving. These I use all the time, like in every single video. I want to say I've been using these. They're the Molten lashes in the style Firecracker. I used to use my Arsonist lashes all the time and I still love those, but there's something about these that is just, it's the perfect style for me. It's like they're very fluffy, but they're also very cat-eyed, and they just flatter my eye really well. I have pretty downturned eyes, and the style of these really help to lift my eye and make it look more open and elongated. So I've been loving these. These are super inexpensive. They're like $5, and you can wear them like a bunch of times before you start to feel like, okay, maybe I should get a new pair. So definitely check Molten Lashes out if you haven't already. I'll leave a link for them down below. And then the other lash that I've been loving are these Radiante, I think, or Radiante, I'm not sure. Lashes. These are really luxe feeling lashes. They have like a nice sturdy, like pull out box. These lashes are in the style Esther. They actually sent me these lashes, so thank you Radiante Beauty for sending me these, and they sent me a bunch of other ones too, but these I've been loving because they're super full and dramatic. They're also a nice cat eye. I forget which video I wore them in, but I'll leave a link to it up here so you can see like kind of how they looked. But these, if I'm feeling a bit more dramatic, are the lashes that I'll go for. The band is nice and thick, which for me is something that I love because I know the lashes are going to stay. And these again are also pretty inexpensive and affordable, so definitely check them out. So you guys, that has been everything that I have been loving recently. Let me know down below some things that you guys have been loving. I'd love to check them out. If you have not already, make sure that you are subscribed and that you hit the little bell so you are always notified when I put out a new video. And I believe that is it for today's video, you guys. Those are all the things that I have been loving recently. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next one.